ChatGPT ads are here. This is a ChatGPT ads tutorial from end to end. I'm going to explain the concept of ChatGPT ads versus traditional search advertisements across Google Ads and Microsoft to give you context around the business. Then I'm going to go and show you exactly how the interface looks like this. I love the interface, how simple it is. Anybody here who's used Google Ads or looked at Google Ads or Meta before will know how messy it can be. I've handled just under $250 million in ad spend across Meta, Microsoft and Google Ads in my 14-year career. And what happens every time that a new channel and a new opportunity arises is this. You get first mover advantage. I knocked together a quick campaign just to get it running live, but we're going to rebuild the whole thing today. And that's going to allow you to be able to take that away and build it yourself. If you need support, book a call with me below. But when it comes down to the actual opportunities that this is going to unveil, not only am I going to build the campaigns with you, I'm going to show you how you can use maybe historical data or just a natural prompt and give you a MD file / prompt that you can use inside of LLMs to get your own variation of this, which is a full structured ChatGPT ad creation, which gives me the ad copy. It tests different title lengths, gives me individual themes for campaign breakdowns. But before we get into that, we have to look at the difference between what search engines provide and what LLMs provide, what ChatGPT provides, okay? The traditional way of running, like advertising to businesses and running PPC advertisements was simply this. You would go to a search engine, so you would go to Google or Microsoft, 5% of you out there that use it. Then you would search for a term, Google Ads Management Company. I'm obviously in the Google Ads arena and ChatGPT Ads arena. So this is an example search term. And then they would click on the ad and they would either go on and fill a form or they would jump back a step until they found somebody that they liked where their landing page was well optimized. Well, the new way of doing this is they open an LLM, ChatGPT, that has advertisements. They search, help me improve PPC performance, or how do I know if my PPC agency is doing a good job? And then they get a two-way back and forward conversation, and then they now click the ad. So on the 6th of June, OpenAI launched in the UK. In May, it launched in the US. And you have first mover advantage. If you join the OpenAI wave right now, you are still a first comer, probably for the next 2 months or so, 3 months maybe. You are one of the first ones through the gate. And as a prime example of why this is critical to your business, I've spent over £300,000 on my own business running my own advertisements, just this one. If you aggregate it together, I've spent well over $500,000. 300,000. Well, if you look at some of the average CPCs that we have in here, £32 a click, £24 a click. Now, don't get me wrong, this is high intent. But when you go to, this is why I had to run like a very basic campaign first, because I just wanted to show you. If we look here, we have 31 clicks and an average cost per click of £6.77. The main part of that is because of the fact that I am a first mover. I'm in the market with the first wave of individuals. This will increase over time, but when you have data, the AI has integrated you, you're inside of ChatGPT Ads as DNA early. When that happens, you're in a position where you can keep a more stable condition. And I know this because I have businesses come to me from the same industry. Some of them are new businesses that start, and others have experienced and well-oiled ad accounts, if you like. And the well-oiled ad accounts pay less per click. They have a lower cost per conversion, generally speaking, as long as they have proper forms, etc. But this is why it's so important. So when it comes down to the two examples, this is a Google Ads Management Company New York search. And you'll see here Boost, 4Play, Converted, Quantcast, all running different adverts for that individual phrase. This is the traditional way. Sorry, Booster, for clicking on your ad, but this is the traditional way. You would see this, you would see all of this, you would maybe read through, not a lot of people scroll, but you would just fill in the form. Now, when it comes down to LLMs, if I go here and I see my Google Ads aren't performing, what are some optimization tips? The LLM will give you information. I don't know if this is right, so please don't read this if you're looking for any Google Ads advice, but it does a good job of explaining core concepts because it obviously understands it. But then right at the bottom, you can see this individual advert here for digital defined marketing. They are a first mover along with me. They're a first mover, they're running PPC advertisements, and this is exactly what an LLM ad looks like. And this is exactly where you want your ads to show. And the reason is because the way that people search is now fractured. People used to just go to the search engines, exactly like I showed you. They would go to the search engine, search for a term, and then they would click an ad. They are still doing that and will be. Google Ads will be here next year, the year after, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. What it looks like may change, but it will be here. It's a stalwart. Google will win the AI race. However, diversification in business, I own 6 businesses. Diversification in business is critical, and that doesn't just mean new businesses, new services, or whatever. It's how you advertise and market your company. That is how you're going to grow. Ultimately, the thing that matters the most on the individual scale is funnel is that you need to add more at the top in order to get more out the bottom. And then your structure internally should be right with automation in order to be able to scale it. But ChatGPT ads are an absolute no-brainer. There is no circumstance that anybody could tell me not to run ChatGPT ads right now when they are brand new and we have the opportunity to be in one of the biggest LLMs on the planet when people are searching. Even my dad, my parents, 63, 64 years old, are in a position where they're using LLMs now when they're asking questions. This is a necessity. This is not a choice. If you want to keep up with the times and the fast-moving pace, this is how you do it. So, getting rid of this now, let's get stuck into the ad account, the actual interface. Because this is an end-to-end tutorial, this is going to be a long one. You have to stick with me because by the end, you're going to see exactly how a campaign should be built inside of ChatGPT/OpenAI. Now, when it comes down to what I launched this the day before yesterday evening because I just wanted you to have something that you would be able to see and compare the cost per click. That was the main reason. The ad copy's pretty poor with that click-through rate. And I also had to edit my conversion tracking, which will be part of this video maybe, or maybe I'll add it as a second part of the series. But the point is that OpenAI has changed a lot from its pre-launch. When it was pre-launched, you had to pay $250,000 to join. It then got dropped to $50,000, and then now it's open, self-serve to anybody. You come in, you set the budget that you want to spend. That is what you spend. So you've gone through a lot of changes. But buying your way in isn't the only thing that's changed. What's changed is the ability to be able to set up conversion tracking. I know somebody at a company, I'm not going to say what company, but you will know what this company is, very high up there, in control of their PPC, in control of their marketing budget allocation. And I knew exactly from the first day that it launched, because they were one of the first invitees to the platform, what was happening. And it was cost per 1,000 impressions bidding. You couldn't set max CPC clicks. You couldn't do individual things that you now have the ability to do. And one of them, the main one, is conversion-based tracking. Now, when I say that, it evolved very quickly. And when it comes down to conversions now, we can see sales, we can see the form submissions on a page, we can see anything that we want to set up tracking for, and they also have a really useful AI tool that helps you do it if you need it. When it comes down to the importance of that, obviously we need conversion data to be able to understand which one of our campaigns are performing and where the inquiries are coming from. This says 0 conversions. I've actually had 2 inquiries already off of the back of this, which I didn't expect, at a significantly less cost per lead than what Google Ads cost me. So that's a positive start. The quality is to be determined. Regardless, you can now set CPC bids and where you're acceptable to spend, etc. But very interestingly, and something you're going to see right now when I start the build, is that you are in a position where OpenAI are actively working on their own conversion-based bidding models. It's grayed out currently, but they're going to launch cost per conversion models. They're going to launch max conversion models. They're going to launch target conversion value, target ROAS, max conversion value strategies. And if all of that goes over your head, it's fine. But it's just it's basically the bid strategy that you're using when it comes down to like AI. And every AI should use it. The more data you feed it, the better it becomes. Again, another early mover advantage. So what do I need to do? I need to take you through actually creating an account, I think. Because if I don't, then you're not going to be able to see what I see. So I'm in the interface because I've done it already. But if we go to ads.openai.com, this is what you'll see. If you even wanted to, you could go and take a look through these helpful resources. And what I find interesting about these helpful resources is the fact that when you look through them, it's helpful, but there's actually very little because the interface is that basic that it's so easy to understand. And that is OpenAI's current best feature, is the fact that it's easy to use. That might evolve as more options come, but this is what you see. This shows you an example. You want to advertise inside of ChatGPT. We hit start now. We continue with Google. Let's use one of my Gmails. I hope this doesn't affect it because they do want you to use a company email. 34. Accidentally put 82 in earlier. That's not a good start. Hopefully I don't look 82. But we're now creating an ad account. It's going to ask me here, double check your email. Continue with the current account. Continue. Tell us about your business. So in here, you just want to give it your business name. I'm going to use my holiday home company for this. So I probably should just use that email because I will be running ads for it. But never mind. Elliott Leisure Group Limited, put your legal business name in there. Then pop in the URL. Now this is, I just grabbed my URL. Importantly, the HTTPS needs to be in here, otherwise it won't let you proceed. Then when we look at this, where are we? Real estate, automotive, dating. Let me reject that. Travel and hospitality, probably. Next. Confirm account details. UK. Currency GBP. Pacific time Los Angeles. I'm just going to pick Central European Standard. Let's just do that. Business. No, I only run ads for my own business. Create advertiser account. Now, this ad account created, and this is going to load up the page. And this is setting up your first campaign. So I'm going to go through this process very quickly with you. I'm not going to be fussed about what is inside of it. Campaign 1, reach, clicks, and look at the conversions grade out coming soon. That's the conversion action based bidding that I told you about. That's them catching up with Google Ads. That's how you're going to be able to scale. First comer advantage again. First comer advantage, you fill the account with conversion data and then you can switch to automated bidding straight away and the algorithm knows exactly where you need to go. Let's say this is, I don't know, £20 a day. Ad group, so I'm just going to call it ad group 1. Elliott Leisure Group, context hints. This is basically the topics, keywords and conversations you want to show for. Buying a holiday home in Skegness. Don't copy this because I'm just skipping through to show you what this will look like. You then create an ad, and the ad here, so ad 1, we have this, copy may be truncated, holiday homes. I'm just trying to get through this for you, to be honest. Let's go to review. That should just take us to this step. So once that's done, you hit review. It's been reviewed. You hit publish, and then it's going to ask you to add your bank details. And it's as simple. The first campaign will be as simple as that. And then that will bring you here. So how do we build a proper ChatGPT campaign that's structured properly? So this is what I did. I used Claude, which I'm going to give you the prompts that I used. At the end of it, I just used Claude because I think personally it's the best LLM, even though we're using ChatGPT to advertise. And I gave it a prompt and I did some backwards and forwards to make sure the prompt's right. It'll be in the description, so you can grab it now if you want to. Just put it into whatever LLM you use and it will give you an output that looks something like this. And what I asked it to do was to give me 10 individual themes, so 10 different campaigns that were based off of my data. Now, I uploaded this sheet. That sheet is the PPC keyword report that I used. So do not worry if you don't have the data, but if you have data from other areas, 100% export it. Export it, give it to the LLM so it knows what has converted previously, the types of topics of search terms. And then that will transpire into user behavior on LLMs. Even if they're asking more information or they're asking different questions, we know what pockets and themes that we need to go into. And that's why I uploaded it. I uploaded thousands of keywords worth of data inside of Claude to get that outcome. Let me just open it again for you so you can see it. I'm going to close that down because we've just seen what it gave us. But the prompt that I gave it, and maybe I'll leave this as an example. So run ads for my PPC agency through ChatGPT Ads. I want 5 to 10 individual themes I can choose from. I've attached a CSV, LLMs, I would say do 7 themes based off of the data and 3 themes based off of the data plus how people search on LLMs. And I went through backwards and forwards with it prior to that to get to this stage where this is the output. You'll get a proper aggregated prompt. But the point is that I'm prepared. I have everything that I need in terms of information based off of the data that I have from my business. Again, if you don't have any, the prompt will still work. It will just be used based off of its own research and analysis. And you can obviously give it any input you want. Let's finally get to building. Okay, so I'm going to create a campaign and I'm going to come over. I'm going to drag this over here. And I'm doing this the manual way. There is a bulk upload option, but it's very clunky. You have to make edits after, and it asks for basic information. It doesn't give you even the themes that you want to go after to upload. So I'm going to do these manually alongside you. So Google Ads Expert. Campaign type is standard because I'm not ecom. If you're ecom, you can have product feed, and then you can select a product feed from inside of it that you can upload. Really easy. I'll do a separate video on product feeds if necessary. Hit in the comments if you want one based off of an e-commerce business. But for this, I'm gonna stick with this. Now, this is critical. Reach, clicks, conversions. I showed you that a minute ago. Right now, we can only focus on clicks. So reach would be like impression share, brand awareness. Clicks is for people to actually click on our ad and come to our landing page and ultimately inquire. So we stick with clicks. Location for this campaign, I'm going to keep it as the United Kingdom. The daily budget for this individual campaign, if I'm happy to spend, say, £500 a day, then every single campaign is going to have a daily budget of £50. So I'm happy for that to be there. And I've got an event set up, which is a form submission. So that form submission is, and I will show you, but that form submission exists. It's optional, so you don't have to have it. If you haven't got a form submission right now, then simply just leave it blank and we'll get to that section when we get there. So if we go into the ad group section and we look at the ad group name, this ad group name is going to be probably the same. I mean, it didn't give me a separate ad group name, and something I could maybe change. But it is the same thing because of that. Now, I want to use this page for this is the landing page for PPC for me. So I'll just show it you for the best case scenario. There's no point running traffic, if any sort of paid traffic, to a garbage landing page. This clear call to action, information about us. This is the phone number to give us a call. This is a video testimonial. The landing page is decent. It could be improved. But when it comes down to this is a relatively decently optimized conversion rate page. How do I know? Because inside of Google Ads, the average conversion rate, if I filtered by search, would be much higher, but you can see like 9%, 6%, 10%, 16%. So I convert at a very high rate. So I'm happy with the page. And then you're going to have inside of your sheet, we've got the ad copies here and the character account. Character count. It tells you what type the call to action is. So it's implicit, hire, free audit, the angle, outcome proof offer, and then it gives us the trigger keywords and topics, and this is exactly what we need right now. Remember, this has been based off of £300,000 worth of spend. So, $400, is it? These individual contexts go through, configure ads, so ad 1, Google Ad Management. Now we use this sheet again, and we take the individual body copy, and we put that inside of here. Specialists who slash your ads. I'll make sure this is ready for when you do it, but I want to make sure this is title case. And we'll have the ad train logo as the individual ad there. I think that's fine. So you want to take that, and I nearly made a mistake there. The title, Google Ads Experts. This has come from data. Personally, I think that could be improved, but the headline, Google Ads Experts. If we look at this, it's very simplistic, so we're going to stick with it. I'm going to give it a go. Now, when it comes down to the max bid, I'm going to set this at like £8 per click. Depends on your industry, what your value proposition is, and how much you can actually charge and what you set this as. But we can see now we've got the context hints, we've got the bid. I changed the ad copy properly for that individual ad. Now, new ad. So this is ad 2. This will be the exact same approach. We take this. Some of these I don't like. Remember, don't think that'll be truncated anywhere, and is definitely the way it should be. Hire a Google Ads expert, then the individual copy certified pros who lower your CPA fast. We go here, certified pros who lower your CPA fast. Same thing, next review. One final ad because there's free ads for every single individual one. This one's Google Ads specialists. It annoys me that it uses title case on the title, but it doesn't use it on the description. Description already made for us: expert run accounts that cut CPA, free audit. That's a better written ad copy. Accounts that cut CPA, free audit. There you go. It's back in there. And you can see clearly what's really important is like how it shows. So when we looked in the Google Ads optimization earlier, you see, this is a great title. Need more leads from Google. Like, that's one that we could use. And I will test these variations. I will go through the ad copy. The ad copy is not that important right now. Like, this is fine. These are okay. We can test different question marks, statements. We can try and instill fear. We can try all these different tactics in order to generate inquiries. But when it comes down to what we want to do, this is it. So we go next. We have the average daily budget. I'm targeting the UK because that's where my business is. Publish. This campaign is now live. Well, it'll be under review with those context hints, with the ad copy that's relevant to that exact phrase, which is why they were what they were. When it comes down to building all 10 of them out, the 10 that I build are going to be are all going to be based around each individual themes. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to build one more with you just so you can see it. And then I'm going to build all 10 and I'll be back. This is Google Ads and AdWords Agency. We take this. That's the campaign name. The campaign type is standard, no product feeds. We want clicks because conversions aren't available yet. We want £50 a day. I'm going to add my conversion event because we haven't added a conversion event yet inside of this video. But when it comes down to the start date, I want it to start right now. Next, ad group name. This is where we use the same thing. The max CPC, I'm going to set it at £8 again because I know that they're high intent. It keeps defaulting to a different landing page URL for me. It won't for you because you won't have anything in there potentially. So, award-winning team get a free audit. This is the context. So this is where we take the keywords from. We take the keywords from here and we stick them in and we put them in individual lines and we then configure ads. Now, we go through the same process again. I'll probably fast forward this for you. So there you go. You can now see that we have the ads serving for the specialist and expert, which was the first one we built. I just finished the Google Ads and AdWords Agency build inside of here. And there's 10 more to go. So I have these categorized by individual topics like you just saw that were all inside of the sheet. I'll play with it so the formatting's better for you when you go through it. But ultimately, this is key. The more data you can give to the LLM, the better your performance will be. And I think that is a really critical thing when it comes down to the ability to be able to control who sees your adverts, be shown inside of the LLM, but then generate the traffic off the back of it and leave you in a position where you can generate business from it. When it comes down to the campaigns, that's now live. Now, when it comes down to these different areas and things you can see change histories, which is exactly what I've got here. Like you can see what I've just created, for example. You saw me go through it and do it. I sped the last bit up. You can add feeds inside of here. You can create feeds. It's one feed connection per individual account, so I can't create one, but you'll have a create feed section there. Then you have conversion actions, which is a pixel, which you create, then conversion events, and then you see the individual event stream, which you can actually start polling, and it looks at like your pixels data source, and you can review it, which is quite cool. Billing, so you've got activity documents overview. It charges at £75 threshold. It's going to go through. And then your settings are general and users. So general and user-based approaches. I might build something with the API keys to be able to do this automatically. But what I've just shown you here is an overview, an explanation as to why advertising inside of LLMs is so important and how to build and structure your campaigns in a granular way, just went serving, in a granular way that's going to give you the best opportunity for success. So I've got a job on my hands to now go and build these individual pieces of data. I might add some ad copy changes inside of there. The prompt is in the description, so anything you need in terms of the information back for your business, you will be able to use it. You will simply have to type out about 2 paragraphs explaining your business, maybe the services you want to offer, send it your URL maybe, tell it that you want to promote these individual services, and it will give you a sheet that looks exactly like the one that I used. So that will make it significantly easier for you when it comes down to building out the campaigns like I've just done. You can get an ad account live in ChatGPT that has granular segmentation with proper keyword usage and ad copy that matches the topic of the phrase inside of the 2 hours. You would have everything done. Now, one thing I haven't covered in this video is conversion tracking. My next video is on conversion tracking. I'm literally going to go and record it right now. But go and check that out. It won't be here depending on when you view it. But if it like soon, like 2 days after this, it will be here for you to go and see. Setting up conversion tracking, might even create a product feed tracking. You guys have to let me know in the comments what you want to see from this. I will take you on the LLM journey. I will show you the performance transparently. I will show you what actually happens from a conversion perspective. And I will show you the ability to be able to sort of come with me on the journey to be able to scale. So I'll show you if I spend $5,000 and get nothing back. I'll show you if I spend $5,000 and make an extra $15,000 a month. I will tell you all of these things, full transparency from ChatGPT advertisements. And I'm using 14 years experience in PPC, but this is brand new. So the techniques and things that I'm going to be using might be different, and we can go along the optimization route if you want me to do it. If you want me to continue down this route, let me know. There will still be Google Ads content inside of this, but I am a PPC specialist. My heart beats, and every time it beats, it pumps PPC spend around. It has done for 15 years, and that isn't going to stop. The content that you need to launch your business's paid search campaigns, whether it be Google Ads and then LLMs, whether it be any of that, I've got you covered. Like, subscribe. My name's Michael. I'll catch you in the next one.